Like sex, kids. We're coming down to the end here. Yeah.
That's why I came last.
Okay.
Mr. Peña, for a guy like me, it's an honor to be this close.
Good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
By the way, my name is Keith Eldrew, spells Aljrew, born in Iraq, made in the USA. Number one, I want to say thank you for taking the time to talk to us, including myself. So it's really big. I've watched your videos, and honestly, looking at you this close, I'm like, God, he's real.
I'm better in person, I know. Okay.
I give you that, sir, so that we don't waste your time. One day, this is one of my goals. One day, I want to hear you say, I remember this guy. So, 2 questions, one personal and one general. The general is, you are old in years, you're rich in money, and confident enough that you don't give a fuck what others think of you. So why would...
So far, still right. Correct.
So why would you spend your precious time talking to us?
Because it's easy. Because too many people that are trying to do what I do are doing it for this.
You're not.
No, I know, but too many others are. And you really, most of the gurus, even though the only thing that social media didn't know about me until a couple of years ago is what hand I wipe my ass with, and I told them my right hand. So everything about me is out on the YouTube. Most of the information about the other guys is all phony. But you don't take the time to look at it because they tell you it's easy. And you rather hear the easy story. These guys, well, with 2 or 3 exceptions, these guys don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. They're dead. They're not as broke as you, because you're really broke. But I mean, they're dead broke. That they, and I do it because I come from the hood, the barrio. You either were a cop, a fireman, a teacher, or a criminal, where I came from. And some of them got out of the barrio because they could box. Mexicans like to box. But that was it. And I started with no money. I know what it feels like. And you don't have to have money. And so I want to spread that as much as I can. And not as many people. I only have 45,000 people on Twitter. I've got 400,000 on YouTube. Because it's not everybody's cup of tea. Candidly, most of you in this room can't do what I've done. Not just because you're not me, because you can't stand up to the pressure of your family. You can't stand up to the pressure of society. You can't stand up to the pressure of your ethnicity. You can't. You don't have the balls. Where you come from, you don't even consider having the balls to say you have no balls. You don't. But maybe 5 of you, 3 of you. And then I will consider it a successful evening. But I'm certainly not delusional to think that most of you will. That's bullshit. Some of you in this room have been to see me 4 or 5 times already. I recognize your faces. I wouldn't embarrass you by pointing you out. But I mean, you don't have the balls. And you know why you don't have the balls. So I do it, and I'm certainly not Mother Teresa, Saint Teresa now, or anything like that. But I do want to I live vicariously through my mentees. And when I see black kids in South Africa in 3 years make $400 or $500 million, I mean, it's a sexual experience for me. Against all the fucking odds. In a country you can't do it. I'm talking about Nelly. I mean, he is a fucking rock star. And we've got, when I see the Viking bitch back here, and I see some of you other guys, I mean, it's terrific. And so I get off on that. And when I hear John get up here. Now, it would have been a slightly more intriguing talk if we could have gone through some of the speed bumps he went through in a little more detail, but we didn't do that. But he was kind enough to fly in here from Arizona, and his lovely wife, who's also a doctor. I know why he married a doctor, so you give him sedatives, right? Every evening, I hope you give him a lot of sedatives. No, I'm talking to you, not him. But that's why I do it. But thank you very much.
The personal question. People who know me say one or two things about me. You'll hear people say he's a fucking jerk. That's me. Or you hear them say, oh, he's the nicest guy. The truth
Well,
is,
they don't say that about me. The jerk part I can relate to.
the truth is, though, I have learned to hide, excuse me for saying this, but I've learned to hide the fucking monster and put up with
Well,
people
this,
who don't. How
this-
do I release my
yeah.
brakes is my
This
question.
program is about releasing the beast. You know, release, I mean, Sally, you know, Sally knows how violent I can get. You know, when I tell you I'm going to fuck you up, sweetheart, you might as well give those earrings to your best friend because you're one dead bitch. I mean, when I'm going to say I'm going to fuck you up, I mean it. I'm not just flapping my lips to hear myself talk. So release the beast. You have permission. Okay, next.
Thank you.
Welcome to Nebraska, just from here, and I've been watching.
By the way, I was in the OCS, Office Candidate School, with a guy who was an All-American wrestler at Nebraska back in 1966. And you know how most young men on the farm get their first sexual experience here in Nebraska? They fuck a chicken. They fuck a chicken. And I remember Eric telling me that, and I thought, Jesus Christ, what an uncouth guy. And then I talked to some other farm boys. Yeah, you fuck a chicken. And then he says, goats are passe, not Mr. Peña. Danny, goats are passe. Sticking their hind legs in your boots, that's passe. It's fucking a chicken. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I was the farm kid that didn't know it was wrong to sleep with a married woman. So anyway, welcome to Nebraska. And I'm the farm kid, by the way, that's in the tractor at 3 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, I'm in the business of trucking. And on your YouTube videos, I've heard you say you've been in those industries and those businesses. So I set a goal this year to do $1 million in revenue, and we're looking to be at $2 million already. But anywho, what is your best advice to me for the business of trucking since you've been there?
Well, motivated sellers. I've got a guy that's the Entrepreneur of the Year right now in Canada, a Chinese kid, who came to me 4 or 5 years ago, and he was about, I don't know, $3 million in revenue, and he's got $90 million this year by buying seller's notes. And he's also now in where you park the trucks. You know, not warehouses, but garages, yeah, where you fix trucks. Yeah. So he's moved out laterally. Yeah, it's good business, good margin business. Yes, sir.
How you doing, Dan? My name is Matt. I'm from Wisconsin, and it's appreciate. And
you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for showing up today. My question is, I'm trying to get a chairman, and I can't seem to find a decent chairman in my geographical location. What would your recommendation be?
Recommendation is increase output. If you can't get a particular individual on your board, you're not making enough calls.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Next.
Cut their heads off and shit down their neck.
Correct.
My name
Chop
is
their heads off.
Brandon.
It's very difficult to get the shoulders right. Well, because your anus, you got to lean. Anyway, go ahead. No. Go ahead.
My name is Brandon. I haven't heard you mention much about insurance roll-ups. I've only seen captive agencies, franchises, which you mentioned is not whatever, but I found
No,
a good franchise.
I'm not a franchise guy.
So
but
do
I mean,
equity?
I don't talk about insurance. I mean, Warren is the insurance guy,
Right.
and we're here in Omaha. But I mean, he just bought Allegheny Insurance, I believe, an insurance company, for $11 billion. He spent $22 billion in the last 2 or 3 days. But insurance companies shit money. They get premiums and they have almost nothing to do with the money except invest it. So insurance companies are great roll-ups.
So would it be I found a good franchise? Do I buy equity in the parent that sells
I'm not a proponent of franchises.
No.
You start small. You buy a $2, $3, $4, $5 million insurance company, then a $15, $20 million insurance company, then et cetera, et cetera.
Like a micro cap stock or something like that?
No, you want them individually. You don't want them in the public domain because, I mean, the QLA, what's great about the QLA model is because you start at $1, $2 million, $3, $4 million, $5 million. By the time you get up to 25, 30 million in revenue, you build up between 5 and 10 million in equity. Your money, just your 60%. And the average for the last 2 or 3 years is the mentee gets about 2/3 of the equity, and the other board members share the other third, roughly speaking. And so now you got, and you can do this primarily on seller's finance, but you can have commercial debt. So now, by the time you get to the $50 and $100 million deals, the bank has seen you've got a track record of 15, 20 deals. He doesn't know who has done all the work, okay? But you've got a track record, and then you paid your accountants and your lawyers for 2 or 3 years, and so you've built. It's a cumulative effect. The challenge is 95% of all the businesses that go up for sale last year didn't sell. Why? Because everybody's trying to get rich off one deal. Generational wealth is built from a series of transactions. A series of transactions, not one. And so you work 30, 40 years at one company, and you've heard before, I put all my money back in my business because I understand my business more. That's all horseshit. Some idiot accountant, you pay $85 an hour told you that. It's built on a series of transactions. A series of transactions.
I've only seen captive agencies, though, like under Allstate or things
No,
like
no,
that.
I mean, no,
Or
you're not
insurance.
agencies. You want companies.
Right, the company. So
You want the company that issues the insurance, not sells the insurance. Right. Okay? Okay, next.
Mr. Peña, it's an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
I flew here from Hawaii, and I've been studying you for about 2 years.
Mahalo.
Aloha. I want to know your opinion on my situation. Because I've been studying you, there's several things that I did in my life. I did purchase a company last year. I have a background in construction and landscaping. We did buy a landscaping company on a big island, which bidding government contracts right now, trying to get more work for the company. It's very slow because it's Hawaii. So one of the questions I wanted to ask, what do you think about doing business in Hawaii in general? Because it's really slow.
Well, it's slower. They got the Mahalo syndrome, but I mean, landscape contracting is big margins.
That's why I bought this company. Yes.
Yeah, and so for the landscape contracting, it's good any place.
But Corona didn't do us any favors. We're trying to hire. We only get like one resume every 2
Correct.
weeks.
Well, here, they're only cleaning your room once every 3 days here because they're short-staffed. Like, I give a shit, everybody's short-staffed. How come we're not short-staffed, Sally? Because we pay top dollar. You pay top dollar, you're never short-staffed. So, but I mean, Hawaii, that's fine. Contract and landscaping is fine business. It's going to be slower, not just because of Corona. And
so we're looking for more companies to buy because we
they're
think
there.
that's a better
way to grow. It may not be just on the island you are.
Exactly. We're looking on other islands too. I wanted to make it to your castle seminar in July. I cannot because I'm Russian and I have a problem with passport.
Okay,
I cannot get visa on time.
Okay, well,
I think
fine.
I'll make it to
someday
the
you will.
hardcore
We
seminar.
look forward to it.
Can I ask you if you can tell me what would be a good result to come to a hardcore seminar so we can take
No, you
it
can't
to
come to the
next level?
hardcore unless you come to the other one.
Okay. So that would be impossible to make though.
Okay.
I appreciate your time,
Okay,
sir.
you're welcome. Next.
Hello, Mr. Peña. Thank you for everything today. I'm Adrian from Monterrey, Mexico. And
Ándale pues, muchachos! My Mexican in me just had to pop out.
I know laser beam focus is one of the keys to success. That's why I want to ask your advice on whether I should pivot or not on what I'm doing. I've done $2.5 million in deals in real estate. Margins are crazy high, but it was a deal with the devil, so I'll get very few of what I made. Should I continue with this and structure it and make the margins work for me, or go to healthcare, start anew, and roll up hospitals?
Well, there's more healthcare. Healthcare is easier. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, young lady.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dan Peña. My name is Shannon. I'm originally from China. So I'm here in the United States, Orlando, Florida. My business is real estate, but I try to start my business like you said, like assisted living facilities. I have some investors I know they're doing some deals, but my question is, how can I to buy all the facilities put together and sell to like make
There's no limit.
millions and billions?
No,
because
you'll
it's
never
hard to
exceed
do
your most
from-
highest expectation. We have the normal, not the normal, not the average, but a reasonable exit for your first exit is $100 million. Reasonable. I'm not saying that's too high, too low, but when you say I want to exit at $1 billion, I mean your subconscious knows you're full of shit, and so you stop working so hard. But 100 is a reasonable expectation. But the most important thing about exiting is you let the market tell you. You don't just decide, well, I think we'll exit next year. That's not the way you do it. You let the market tell you. And we're going to have a consolidation in the general market. And an exit doesn't necessarily mean an IPO. I mean, an exit means that you can sell to a strategic buyer, you can sell to private equity, you can sell to a hedge fund. There's all kinds of exits. I personally like the exits of the private, not on the IPO side. But you'll be able to find.
So that means I do need some partner together, right, for big deals without starting with like 1 or 2 or 3 facilities, because that's the investors I know, they're doing like 3 or 4. I don't see any good money.
Well, it's not what you should be able to say shit. I'm not interested in your opinion. What does your board say? You don't have a board.
I don't have board.
Oh, well, you get a board. Then you
But
don't
how
ask
many
questions.
deals you should put
No,
together
I
in
mean,
order
no,
to get the board?
It's all free on my website. In fact, every question I was asked, except for a few of the little bullshit ones, are on my website. Now, see, if I came to listen to somebody like me, I'd be fucking prepared. You're not. Okay.
All right,
well,
thank you
okay.
so much.
It's on my website. I just told you 100 million is a decent exit.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
My last question, young man.
Questions about the how rather than the why. In your experience, what is the most effective way to cut to the chase and pitch the seller finance to the seller? The most effective way.
The most effective way is to pitch to the seller.
Yeah. You don't want to do it too early, so they get scared. You don't want to do it too late because you don't want to.
No. See, he is parroting the obvious concern that are false. It's a numbers game. Finding motivated sellers, you have to go through 1,000. So there is no effective. Whether you get to them on the first call, the first email, or the 50th email and the 50th call, it doesn't matter. I worked 100, 120 hours a week making thousands of calls. I got the phone slammed down on me. This is an exaggeration 1,000,000 times, but I don't know how many times. There is no effective. The only effective way is like running children down in a crosswalk. That's the most effective way.
So you bring it right away.
Right away.
Thank you.
I used to say, honey, our business relationship starts here and ends here. You either want to suck my dick or not. May God strike me fucking dead if that's not the truth. You don't get more sex than the Beatles unless, what's the right way, the wrong way? They're gone by then. And now I look at your faces, and that's why your willies don't get wet. Those are, even the guys that are married, sleeping next to that big flabby ass. The reason why you don't leave her, and the reason she doesn't leave you, even though you're a bum fuck. There is no easy way. There is no easy time to make a hard decision. I've made thousands of, not millions, tens of thousands of calls. Honey, it starts and ends here. We got anything to talk about? Okay, my wife has given me the... Okay, kids, thank you very much.